Michigan is one of the states that thinks that requiring handguns to be registered with the state is going to magically stop criminals from doing criminal things. Of course, the law hasn't had a single bit of impact against criminals and has only succeeded in being another law that the political elite choose not to follow. The latest proof of this is a Michigan judge who not only didn't register her gun, but tried to sneak the loaded gun onto an airplane. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is brought to you by Blackout Coffee Company. Blackout Coffee is a family-owned roaster based out of sunny Florida that works to not only bring you amazing coffee, tea, and hot chocolate, but also partners with some of your favorite channels and gun rights groups to help support the Second Amendment. So to get a great cup of coffee you can be proud of, donate to some of your favorite gun rights groups, and help support the channel, go to blackoutcoffee.com/libertydoll. Third Circuit Court Judge Cynthia LaToya Miller was arrested on June 8th when a TSA agent at the Detroit Metropolitan Wayne County Airport found a loaded and undeclared and unchecked Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380 in her purse with a round in the chamber. She was supposed to be boarding a flight to New York, which would have also put her in violation of all of their laws. An unnamed TSA agent found the gun just hanging out in her purse via the X-ray machine, which is shocking actually that they even found it, if we're being real. The Detroit News published part of the police report, which they got through a public records request. A TSA agent whose name was redacted checked Ms. Miller's purse and found a Smith & Wesson M&P Bodyguard 380, said the report that was written by an airport police officer. I cleared the weapon to make it safe. There was a round of ammunition chambered. The firearm was not artfully concealed. I located Ms. Miller's credentials, ID, driver license, and an item that was redacted. Ms. Miller told me that she had not registered the firearm at this time, the report said. Ms. Miller told me her brother lived and purchased the firearm in a redacted location. So when speaking to the police, she tried to say that it wasn't her gun and that is why it hadn't been registered. But Michigan also requires universal background checks for all firearm transfers, not just for sales. She was escorted by a police corporal to another area of the airport and was issued a misdemeanor ordinance violation for dangerous weapons and was ordered to contact the district court within 14 days. The police confiscated the gun as evidence and told her that she would need to provide documentation that the gun was hers, even though she claimed that it wasn't. Which really just makes things worse for her, because after that, her story changed. She later claimed through her attorney that the gun wasn't her brother's either, but belongs to a close friend. The lawyer tried to claim that she had misspoken and that it was a close friend that she'd known for years who was like family. Either way, it still doesn't cover her because these same transfer rules still apply even for just a temporary loaner. Michigan is only one of 5 states that currently require gun registration and the only state that applies the mandate to pistols. As for carrying in an airport, the Michigan Aeronautics Code of 1945 bans carrying firearms at airports, as does a Metro Airport Ordinance. Both offenses are misdemeanors punishable by up to a year in jail or a $1,000 fine, or both. The TSA can impose additional fines on top of that, and the fines can be as high as $15,000. Now, passengers can bring firearms onto a plane, unloaded, in checked baggage. This was neither of those things. The guns have to be locked in a hard case and declared at the check-in counter, which again, this was none of those things. As for any other consequences, they vary, mostly because public officials keep violating the rules, especially at the Metro Airport. In 2003, the former Detroit Police Chief Jerry Oliver resigned after he brought an unregistered .25 caliber pistol into the airport while traveling to a police conference in Philly. He was charged with possessing an unlicensed handgun, which is also a misdemeanor. He pled no contest and paid a whopping $250 fine and another $300 to the TSA. In 2007, another district judge, there seems to be a trend here, Sylvia James, was stopped with a loaded, unregistered gun in her carry-on. She was never charged because investigators said that they wouldn't be able to prove that she had done it intentionally, though I would expect a gun owner and judge to know the law. It's not exactly a secret that you're not supposed to bring guns on airplanes. And in 2016, Michigan Court of Appeals Judge Henry Said pled guilty to bringing a gun into the airport and was fined $750, though the court proceedings were kept private in a media blackout. We still don't know exactly why that is. Having to register firearms is completely unconstitutional, but the law is on the books. I'm torn between wishing that she wouldn't be charged under this bogus law, or maybe her even using this experience to advocate against it, which we know won't happen, versus her being given the same consequences that any other regular citizen would have to face. Because if anyone else from Detroit, not a judge and not a cop, did this, they would be slammed with charges for illegal transfer, an unregistered gun, carrying in the airport, and violating TSA rules. And they'd probably be paying a lot more than a total of $500. But we live in a time and a place where the political elite get to pass laws and judgment on the average citizen while saying, do as I say and not as I do. Alright folks, that is it for this one. Please do all of the algorithm things, like, share, and subscribe. If you are new here, drop that comment down below to help with the algorithm. And as always, thanks for tuning in and happy shooting.